Hello, all. Welcome back to Cartography. Cartography has a long tradition, and today we are going to discuss what happened in the cartographic field in the ancient period. As noted earlier, cartography has a long tradition going back to 4000 years. Throughout this period, the subject matter of cartography and its function has changed from time to time. In the long run, cartography is concerned with the study of increase in accuracy and measurement in representing the shape and size of major phenomenon or any feature on the surface of the earth. And today, with the increased knowledge about the shape and size of the earth, the modern cartography functions more as a graphic science, concentrating more in representing the features and the details of all the tangible and intangible contents on the surface of the earth rather than merely engaging in the measurement of the earth. Based on the existing knowledge on the historical development of cartography, four distinct periods can be marked out. These are the ancient period up to 400 AD, the medieval period running between 400 to 1500 AD, the early modern period between 1500 to 1900 AD, and the recent period from 1900 AD till to date. The ancient cartographic period has been again grouped under four major heads: the primitive cartography, the Greek cartography, the Roman cartography, and the Asian cartography. There are enough evidences that the primitive people expressed their ideas and experience in the form of graph and figures. People like Eskimos of Arctic region, Bedouins of Arabia, Banjaras of India have drawn such graphs and maps on pieces of skin, wood, and terracotta to indicate the relative position of their surrounding areas. With the increase in the cultural heritage and scientific aptitude, the earlier people started producing better maps. Egyptians used geometrical method for land measurements and establishing land ownership lines after flood occurs in River Nile every year. And these flood lines were shown on the cadastral plans. However, during all such works, the range of the maps was restricted or limited to their immediate surroundings and was not dealt with the entire earth. It was the Babylonians who considered some ideas on the shape and the size of the earth. They considered earth as flat area surrounded on all sides by seas and heaven. Then comes the period of the Greek cartography. The Ionians were the first people from Greece to take interest in the field of cartography and scientific thoughts. They took the ideas from the pioneer Babylonians and prepared maps showing the routes of their trading areas covering the Mediterranean coast and Susa. They established the city-states for their trading relations from the east coast of Spain up to the Black Sea, which helped them to know more about the world beyond them and about the shape and the size of the earth. By 600 BC, Greeks have established Miletus as the center of geographic study and scientific enquiry. Thales, the first Greek philosopher and traveler, initiated to measure the earth and try to locate things on the face of the earth. Anaximander, who is the founder of mathematical geography and the disciple of Thales, has prepared the first world map based on scale. Hecatus, who is known as the father of geography, made the first systematic description of the earth through his book Jus Periodus. The book gives a general outline of all the countries in the world and described the places and districts near the Mediterranean Sea. Later on, Herodotus, during the 400 BC, improved the world map and showed Caspian Sea as an inland sea. However, till 400 BC, no one represented Earth to be circular. With the further expansion of the known world, the idea that the Earth was not a flat disk but a sphere was gradually dominated among the thinkers. By 300 BC, the Center for Scientific Studies gradually shifted to Alexandria. Eratosthenes, in 200 BC, measured the length of the equator with remarkable precision. He also developed the system of coordinates for the world to draw maps accurately based on scientific principles. He dealt with the problem of representing the spherical Earth on a plane surface by extending two parallels eastwards and a zero meridian. The two parallels that run eastwards was one passing through the Gibraltar and Caspian Sea and the other passing through the Egypt and southern India. Later on, Hipparchus in the 1st century BC proposed the scheme of spherical earth into 360 degree of latitudes and longitudes. He considered equator as a great circle dividing the earth into two equal halves and the meridians intersecting the equator and converging at the poles. His foundation for scientific cartography was later on carried out by Ptolemy and the future world. Between Hipparchus and Ptolemy came a period of Posidonius, who led the Greek thinkers to think, pause, and consolidate the developments that are already made by the earlier Greek scholars. Thus, the Posidonian period became the period of compilation, which were later on used by Romans in constructing maps. However, the Romans took less interest in the field of scientific cartography. For a long time, they were only concerned with the expansion and consolidation of their empire. Their maps generally contained the road network and battlefields and were given less importance to geographic enquiry. The Peutingers table was developed by Romans in the 3rd century AD. This is a best example of such maps developed by the Romans for showing the road routes and the distance between them. These maps lag in the direction, shape and position of various features on the map, and hence they are distorted to a great extent. The Peutingers table consists of 534 illustrations of Europe, Africa and Asia. It was the Strabo and Ptolemy who took some interest in the field of cartography as they were primarily concerned with the study of regional geography. Strabo stressed on the division of world into natural boundaries rather than political boundaries, as he believed that the natural boundaries help in establishing better boundaries for states or regions. Ptolemy's excellent work, The Geography or the Guide to Geography, is an important contribution in the field of mathematical cartography and map projection. The book is a catalogue of all the known places with their latitudes and longitudes. This book contains 26 regional maps of Europe, North Africa and Asia and a world map. Ptolemy in his map represented equator as latitudes by parallel curves and meridians as straight line bisecting the equator at right angles and converging at the poles. Another major contribution in the field of Roman cartography is the Marcus Agrippa's contribution. Agrippa in 12th century BC prepared the famous Orbis Terrarum of the Survey of the World. This map was established and displayed for providing information for the Roman citizens containing the details of the world. The shape of this map was almost circular. Orbis is a genitive form of think of a general word for any round or circular like thing, and terrarum represents the meaning of the land. It refers to land in general or a specific landmass. Thus, orbis terrarum is a phrase meaning the whole earth. It is evident that several maps were prevalent in China, India, Japan, and Korea during earlier days. Thus, the Asian cartography also took a small role in the development of cartographic field. The intervening seas and oceans were also well charted by Chinese and Indians as they were highly interested in maintaining the trading relations. In China, Chang Han in 2nd century AD introduced the concept of grid system into China. Although these maps were not survived in the cartographic field. Xi Hu is considered as the father of Chinese cartography. He produced a map of politically organized part of China on 18 rolls of scales in 267 AD. He used grid lines of east to west and north-south crossing at right angles to provide the frame to plot the rivers and various features. Now let's look into what was the contribution made by the Indians. The basic foundation of cartographic knowledge in the India was laid during the Vedic period, though the astronomical truths and cosmological revelations made by the monks. The classical Indian astronomers were conscious of the importance of Akshansha and Deshandra, which means latitudes and longitudes, in determining a place on the surface of the earth. The post-Siddhantic period gave rise to classical findings by great astronomers like our Aryabhatta, Bhaskara, Varahamihira, and many others who helped in the development of astronomy, mathematical geography, and cartography. The knowledge about the world appears to be quite extensive in ancient India. In the reference, it was found that in Puranas, the landmass of the earth was divisible into 7 dvipas. Originally, dvipa signifies a land bounded by water. In Puranas, the term dvipa was further extended to include any land which was generally inaccessible or detached either by water or a swamp or sand or even high mountains or thick forest. The 7 non-dvipas of then world were named as Jambudvipa, Kushadvipa, Plaskadvipa, Puskaradipa, Salmalay, Kraunchadvipa and Sakadvipa. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. This is all about the ancient cartographic contributions of the world. For any doubts or queries, post in the comment box or through the Google Edmodo. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Thank you and have a great day.